And are there, and this is for either of you, there are probably other forms of testing that you do besides the crowd testing that you do with Test.io. Do you want to talk a little bit about what some of those other forms of testing are and how they fit into your overall software development process? Dmitry, you can,
okay.
you can take that one.
Yeah, so Test.io, like, first of all, Test.io is a great tool, but it doesn't replace the whole QA, right? So Test.io has a very specific like niche of the usage, and that's niche for our use case. It's exploratory testing and regression testing. And in order to have high quality software, like other quality assurance practices should be using other kind of testing should be using. So for example, in our company, we first of all, we try to cover our code with unit tests. Unfortunately, it's not always possible for the video application because it's hard to come up with criteria, you know, like when automated tests works. Then every feature when we implement, we create a functional test that is very deep. We're trying to do it very deep, but per your advice, Matthias, we might rethink it. And with like when the ticket goes through Jira travels, once it's implemented, we do functional testing and test this feature. Then once we got all the features for the release, we do exploratory testing and regression testing internally using scripts and using Test.io to make sure our products like works in general. And as we talk about usage of Test.io, like we had really big problem before releasing one of our products, which is Pitch for Windows. And the problem was there is huge amount of Windows workstations and operating system versions. And for us, the huge problem was like it's not possible to replicate every possible, you know, like combination of software and hardware. And there were cases when on some specific devices, software just didn't work. And we will never be able to catch this without like using crowd testing. So for us, it's a huge reason why we use the platform.
So what sort of tests run automatically with every build or on a scheduled basis in your world?
It's very basic testing. It's basically tests that confirm some of the function work. So for example, you want to read project file, and we have a project file that's bundled, and we make sure that we can deserialize and serialize project back. And it's such simple tests, like simple drawing tests to make sure our composing engine didn't break. So this kind of tests to make sure like the general system works.
Sort of a smoke test.
Yeah, it's not a smoke test. It's called unit test. It's very like, it covers very small portion of the code, you know, like literally a function or multiple functions.
Got it.
I would like to, I'm dreaming about making like UI tests automated, but it looks to me that it's so much effort that it doesn't worth the effort because UI changes a lot and it's very hard to get good coverage.
Right, exactly. How about you, Matthias? What other sorts of testing do you guys do that's not Test.io?
As I think every software development team should do, we are also doing unit and integration testing. Very excessive. We have UI tests, automated UI tests, but we are looking at that they are not too many. So what we automated test in the UI is, let's say, just the happy parts, just the most important happy parts. Mm-hmm. We are testing via automated UI tests, and all the other UI tests we are doing manually, or we are doing or we are doing with the help of Test.io, with the help of the crowd. The crowd or Test.io also helps us having a bigger amount of platforms we can test on. Mm-hmm. Especially for the mobile apps, for example, we can't have all the handsets there. We can't have all the mobile versions there. Especially for Android, there are thousands of it out there. and also in iOS, they're becoming more and more iOS handset iOS versions. You need to test, and so it's very good for us to have the crowd for this kind of tests. But for our in-house testing, like I said, we are running automated regression tests in the UI and also in the backend. And yeah, unit integration testing is also very much there. What is also big portion of tests, what we do is the documentation testing, I would say. So the requirements analysis, if they match the product. I think this is the very first type of tests you should do. Before you start development, you should also test if the requirements, if the tickets you get for your development are matching what is already there or match what should be there.